Let me ask you a question, Billy. Have you known any of this backstage AEW drama? Do you have any sources on this stuff? Because there's a couple of questions I want to ask you about. What did you hear about the Sammy Guevara Eddie Kingston fight? And there was also a report from some of these dirt sheet sites that said that when Jamie Hayter broke Thunder Rosa's nose, that Thunder Rosa went and ran and hid in the bathroom. Did you hear any of that, or do you know anything about any of this?
No, like I'm still going on what I know last week, which is a case of they know that there's there was definite issues. Like wow. there was 100% issues 2-3 weeks ago. Like there's no doubt about it. Like people are
with
not
who?
getting
2-3 weeks ago with who?
Just in general. Like there's backstage issues. People are not happy with their spots. They're getting calls and texts from WWE to see what their situation is, how they can get out of contracts and whatever.
Billy, do you know specifically who was contacted, that WWE contacted? I mean, it was rumored on Twitter one of them was Jericho, but I heard there was a lot more.
Jericho's been contacted ages ago. Like Jericho can come in once this deal runs down next year anyway. But like in terms of the other people, it would be your Miros and your Andrades and people like that. It's not like anybody that wasn't already there. It's not like they reached out to Kenny or the Young Bucks or anyone like that.
Adam Cole,
yeah,
maybe.
But here's the thing too. Time out. I got to.
Oh, let me tell you this before you jump in, Disco. The all out secondary market floor seats range from $214 all the way up to $2,400. So there's a big window.
Where's the $2,400?
Two rows out. A second row rather.
Second row. Interesting.
But just before you get on that, just before you say that, the other thing I heard was that they were going to play on this. Like they were going to play on certain things, like the Punk and the Adam Page thing was squashed, and they decided to leak stuff out to the dirt sheets. Now you've got a whole load of people burying Punk and saying, "Oh, he's this, he's that. I've got a story. It just seems very much like they're capitalizing on it. And even with the Eddie Kingston thing. So Eddie Kingston sat down with Michael from High Spots and did an interview saying he was going to go and punch Sammy Guevara in the face. I haven't texted Michael from High Spots yet. I can do because I do have his number to see how much of that video was staged and set up and how much of it was just Eddie genuinely just catching him off guard and saying that. Because there's a lot of this that doesn't look – that if you dig deep enough, you know it's not real. But a lot of it's been – like in terms of Sammy Guevara – reaching out to Sean Ross Sapp and giving his opinion of what happened, and then Sapp immediately puts it out. Like they are working you, but they're working you from real problems that have been happening. Now they're using those real problems to create a work shoot, as opposed to what the real stories were. Let me ask you a question. Real stories are stemming from WWE unsettling people in the company with their spots.
Yeah, that's my question though. It's like, how much of that is WWE contacting them, or how much of that is them contacting WWE? Like, how would they know? Like how did they know what the communication line is between the talent and?
Because the talent goes and they tell them, they go, "Hey, WWE called me," because it also gets them over with the company, and I tell them the off or whatever. They do that to me all the time, bro. All the time.
Give an example.
They're talking to me. Oh, they're talking to me from Consejo Mundial. Who exactly? And they're like, "Oh, well, so-and-so." And I'll try to find out if it's true, because a lot of times they use that as a ploy to try to get me to push them or give them, or try to get more money out of the company.
Let me ask you a question. When you got a pretty good radar in getting worked, right?
Right.
What do people work you most with? Like say, for instance, like it's a guy, like you're negotiating a price for his hair or his mask to lose. Or if it's like the situation where you just said, where, hey, the guy's contract negotiations coming up, and he's trying to tell you all the people that want to sign him. Well, what have you found, like, that where you've sniffed it out, where you can tell these guys are full of
Everybody's different, but everybody's always trying to work me. Always, right. At all times, 24/7.
Right.
So everybody, I see myself, everybody, obviously, since I'm head of creative, everybody wants to be in my good graces. And I would say I get along with just about everybody, but everybody does have an agenda, and everybody just looks at me, and I do understand this. Before I didn't, but I do understand. Everybody just sees me as a stairway to something bigger, and they try to figure out who has power. Okay, Dorian has power, Konnan has power, this other guy that you don't know has power, so they're always trying to, whoever the power brokers are, they're always there trying to get something out of them that will benefit their career. And one of the reasons that I always got over in AAA is because when I first started out, I used to give my boss, Antonio Pena, not just ideas for me. I gave him ideas for everybody else. And that's when he told me, why don't you join me in creative? Because just about every single wrestler, I'd say 97% of the wrestlers I spoke to, it's all about them. And they never do anything that helps the company. It's all about them. And I go, so what does the company get out of it? Oh, I didn't think about that. Well, if we're promoting you and we're helping you and we're opening up doors for you, why did you get all the benefit and the company doesn't get any of the benefit? So wrestlers are always thinking about themselves.
Yeah, because we've been on that other. You've been on the other side,
right?
Where you've always thought about yourself. It's like you're trying to tell us here. Look, don't. I know the deal here.
Right.
It's like I tried to work the office too. Just
right.
like you're trying
well, that's
to
the worst part. When they try to work me, I'm like, bro, you're trying to work a worker, and everything you throw at me, I've either seen or done or invented.